Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We are on Chapter 11, Lesson 10, Convert Metric Units of Length. We are on page 857 in your math book. Okay, metric system is a decimal system of measurement. To convert metric units, multiply by powers of 10. Remember when we watched the Math Antics video and he talked about how the metric system can go up or down by powers of 10, so you just have to move the decimal point? Well, that's what we're talking about today. Okay, for example 1. One of the largest recorded pythons measured 7.3 meters long. What is the length of the python in centimeters? To convert 7.3 meters to centimeters, we need to know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. That's just something you need to memorize. So we multiply 7.3 times 100. And that's going to equal, well, there's 2 zeros, so move the decimal 2 places to the right, and we definitely don't start with that number. 730 is our answer. So 7.3 meters is 730 centimeters. The python is 730 centimeters. I wish they would have done this, 7.3, and then times 100. Then you could see you have 2 zeros, so 7.3, you'd move that 2 spaces to the right. But that's all right. That's their strategy, and that works for them. Okay, this information is also found on your handout that I'm handing you out today. It is also talked about in the Math Antics video, so if you are struggling with this concept, please watch that video and look at your handout a little more. Or please make sure you put a sticky on this page to refer to it. You're welcome to take a screenshot if you wish to have it on your computer. And remember, the King Henry died merrily drinking chocolate milk will help you order these and realize that you need to memorize that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters or 1,000 millimeters, and 1 kilometer is 100 meters. These are all important things to memorize or use your notes really well. Example 2. Roshonda has 50 dynamos. Each dynamo is 4 centimeters long. She lines them up end to end as shown. How many meters long is the line of dynamos? So first we find the length in centimeters because we have these lined up end to end. Okay, so we have 4 centimeters times 50, and that's going to equal 200. Helps if I get my marker out. Number 2, convert centimeters, 200 centimeters into meters. Since 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, we can divide 200 by 100. So it'll look like this. 200 divided by 100 is going to equal 2. So 200 centimeters equals 2 meters. The line of dynamos is 2 meters long. Here we go, starting on our practice. Okay, 5 meters equals how many centimeters? Well, there is 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So we do 5 times 100, and that's going to equal 500. So 5 meters equals 500 centimeters. Okay, 9,000 meters equal how many kilometers? 9,000, so we have 1,000 meters equal 1 kilometer. So we do 9,000 divided by 1,000. And that's going to be crossing off the zeros. So then we have 9 divided by 1 is 9. So 9 kilometers. Number 3. So we have 700 centimeters. We need to see how many meters that will make. So I know that there are 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So I can go 700 divided by 100 equals, well, I can cross off the zeros, 7. And by the way, I need to see this work on your guided practice or I will not accept it today. Thank you very much. Number 4. Now we have 8,500 millimeters into meters. And I know that there are 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter for my handy dandy little note chart. So I'm going to do 8,500 divided by 1,000. And what is that going to equal? Well, I can go like this and this and this and this. So then I have 85 divided by 10 equals 8.5. So then my answer is 8.5 or 8.5 meters. Number 5, 15 kilometers equal how many meters? I know that 1 kilometer equals 1,000. So, meters. So I take 15 times 1,000, and my answer is going to be 15 plus 1, 2, 3 zeros. So then my answer is going to be 15,000. Number 6, I have meters to kilometers. So I know that there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So then I need to convert it. I'm going to go 73 divided by 1,000. Please write this down. So I can take off the zeros here. So then I have 73 times 1 is 73. So 73,000 meters equals 73 meters. Number 7. 2.71 meters equals how many millimeters? Well, 1 meter equals 1,000 millimeters. So knowing that increment, I'm going to do 2.71 times 1,000. Now, what do I do? That's right. I have a decimal right here. Then I have 3 zeros. So that tells me that I can move that decimal point to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Put a placeholder 0. Now, I don't have to put a decimal point in it because there's nothing behind it to hold value. So I can just have my number 27,010 is my answer. Now, number 9. We have 9.2 meters equals centimeters. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So to find the answer to this, we are going to do 9.2 times 100. So our answer is going to have 9.2, but we can move over 2 spots for those 2 zeros. Put a placeholder 0 right there. So then our answer is going to be 920 centimeters. Number 9, we have 17.5 millimeters equals how many centimeters? Well, I know that there are 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So I have 17.5, and I'm going to divide it by 10. Now, when I divide, I move the decimal to the left. So please understand that when you divide, the decimal moves to the left. When you multiply, the decimal moves to the right. So I'm dividing now. So this decimal is now going to move to the right. So it's going to be right there. So my new number is going to be 1.75. Number 10, 0.509 kilometers equals how many meters? Well, I know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So I'm going to do 0.509 times 1,000. And I can move my decimal point over 3 spots. So my answer is going to be 509. Then I move that decimal over 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So my new answer is going to be 509 meters. Okay, now we can compare, but before we can compare, we have to convert them to the smallest measurement. Millimeters is definitely smaller, so I need to convert the centimeters. Now, I know there are 10 millimeters for every 1 centimeter. So that tells me I need to do 30 times 10, and that's going to equal 300. So 300 centimeters compared to 300 millimeters compared to 300 millimeters is going to be equal. They are equal. Number 12. So we have kilometers to meters. There is 1,000 meters equal 1 kilometer. So to convert, this one's the smallest one, so I need to convert this one to meters. So I'm going to do 4.8 times 1,000. Yes, I want you to write this all out. And that means that I can move, here's my answer. I'm going to move it over 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So my new number is going to be 4,800 millimeters, or meters. And that is comparable by being equal to that one. Okay, looking at this measurement, which one is smaller, millimeters or centimeters? Yep, millimeters is definitely smaller than centimeters. So we need to convert the centimeters to millimeters. And there are 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So then I can do 3 times 10 equals 30 millimeters. So this is comparable to 30 millimeters. Now I can compare, is it greater than, less than, or equal to? Yes, you are right. It is greater than this way. Number 14, we have kilometers and meters. So in every 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So this number is smaller. I need to convert this to meters. So I'm going to do 9 times 1,000 equals 9,000. So I'm going to write that number up here, 9,000 meters. So now I can compare 9,000 versus 8,500 and see that the 9,000 is more. Number 15, we have 1.5 meters versus centimeters. Centimeters is smaller than meters, and there are 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So I need to convert these to centimeters. So what I'm going to do is do 1.5 times 100. Now what I do with that, I take 1.5 and move that decimal spot over 2 because there's 2 zeros. 1, 2. So then my new answer is going to be 150 centimeters. I can write it up here, 150. Now I can compare 150 versus 145. Well, obviously 150 is more, so then my sign's going to go like that. Number 16, we have 17 meters comparing to centimeters. This is the smaller unit. So we need to convert these meters to centimeters. And in 1 meter, I have 100 centimeters. So I can take 17 times 100, and that's 17 plus 2 zeros. So then it's going to be 1,700 centimeters is definitely bigger than 116 centimeters. Please understand that these conversion charts are slightly confusing, but if you have your notes with you, you can just follow the pattern. Join me on the next page, please. Actually, let's go to the homework. Here we are converting. Now remember, you can use your notes on this to help remember, Or you can do King Henry died merrily drinking chocolate milk, and remember to go up and down to realize where you move the decimal. Let's begin. Number 1, we have 300 centimeters into meters. I know 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So I am going to take 300 and I'm going to divide it by 100 because I need to find out how many meters, because meters are bigger. And that's going to be, because I cross off the zeros, 3 divided by 1 is 3. It'll be 3 meters. Number 2, we have 500 millimeters equals how many centimeters? Well, I know it takes 10 millimeters to equal 1 centimeter. So I can take 500 divided by 10, and that will equal, cross that off, 50. And yes, you can hear kids playing outside because I'm recording this during school. Number 3, we have kilometers to centimeters. Ooh, that one's a big one. Kilometers to centimeters. So I know on kilometers, we have 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. And then we have 100 centimeters that equals 1 meter. So this is where it's handy to do King Henry died merrily drinking chocolate milk. We're moving from kilometer, and we need to come down to centimeter. Now, if we are going down or to the right, we are timesing by 10, okay? And we are moving down or to the right, and we're going to move 1, let me move that out of the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. So we have 1.7, and we're going to move it 5 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. So that is what it's going to look like. 170,000 centimeters. Woo! That was a tricky question, and it definitely was easier to write out my King Henry died merrily drinking chocolate milk and moving the decimal than to multiply it all out like I tried to do in the beginning. So choose your strategy. You can multiply it out or you can move it up and down. Now remember, if you're going to go up the ladder, you need to divide by 10. Okay? All right, let's join me on 4. Okay, we have 2 kilometer equals how many meters? Well, I know in each kilometer there is 100 meters equal 1 kilometer. So I'm going to take 2 times 1,000. I said 100, didn't I? I meant to say 1,000. So then my answer is going to be 2,000. Number 5, we have 6 centimeters equal how many millimeters? I know 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So I can just take 6 times 10, and that's going to equal 60. Number 6, we have 238 centimeters equals how many meters? I know that there are 100 centimeters that equal 1 meter. So we can go ahead and divide that. So we have 2, whoops, hate when I give you the answer, 28 divided by 100. And when we divide that by 100, we can take 238, 238. And when we divide, we move to the left 2 spots because there's 2 zeros. So then our answer is going to be 2.38, which is the answer I kept trying to tell you. If I can just do it at the right beginning. There we go. Okay, number 7. We have 2,400 millimeters equal how many meters? I know that there is 1,000 millimeters equal 1 meter. So I can take 2,400 and I can divide it by 1,000 to get my answer. So I can do the rule of zeros and take off the zeros. So then I have 24 divided by 10 is going to be 2.4. 2.4 meters. Or if you were to go up and down, here's another strategy. Here's our number. And we realize that we are going from millimeters, which is right here, 2 meters. And that goes up 1, 2, 3 spots. So then we can take our little point, decimal point, and go over 1, 2, 3 spots. And we are still going to get the same answer of 2.4. So choose your strategy. You can either divide it out or you can go up and down the chart like Math Antics does. Number 8, we have 175 millimeters equals how many meters? I know that it takes 1,000 millimeters to equal 1 meter. So then I have 175 millimeters divided by 1,000. So this is one way you can do this. I'm going to show you another way in just a minute. Now when you divide by 1,000, you need to realize that you can take the decimal at the very end and see there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then our new decimal is going to go right there. And that's going to be our answer, 0.175. Or you could use the King Henry method. We are going from millimeters to meters. So we go up 1, 2, 3, and we just move the decimal over 1, 2, 3 spots, and you would still get the same answer. Choose your strategy that you like the best and stick with it. Next page. When completed, the tunnel will be 1,500 meters long. What is this length in kilometers? So we have to do markup. And that is my cell phone telling me I have an answer, a message. Okay, we have 1,500 meters. And I know that for kilometers, there's 1,000 meters equal 1 kilometer. So we want to know how long it is in kilometers. We're going to divide it by 1,000. And that just means we can take off those zeros, 15 divided by 10 is going to be 1.5 meters. Now, if you chose to do the King Henry died merrily drinking chocolate milk, you can also see that we're going from meters to kilometers. So we have meters to kilometers. We'd go up 1, 2, 3. And when we go up, we go to, our decimal goes to the left. So here we have 15. Decimal goes to the left, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. We get the same answer, 1.5 meters. Okay, choose your strategy and which one you like best. Either King Henry drink chocolate milk or dividing it out. Number 10, the depth of a swimming pool is 8.5 meters. That's the depth. What is half? So half of the depth in millimeters. Explain. Well, first of all, let's convert it to millimeters. So I know for 1 meter equals 1,000 millimeters. Okay, so if we were to convert this into millimeters, we would go ahead and times 8.5 times 1,000. And that's pretty easy because there's 1, 2, 3 zeros. So you're going to take 8, 5, and you're going to move the decimal 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So your answer is going to be 8,500. But it is a brain builder. And we have this half we got to deal with. So what is 8,500 divided in half? You could go like this, because 2 is like dividing it in half, right? 2 goes into 8, 4. Then we've got an 8. Bring down the 5. 2 will go into 5 at least twice, and it'd be 4. 1, bring down the 10. 2 will go into 10 5 times. Bring down the 0. 2 will go into 0 0 times. So then half is going to be 4,250 what? What are we measuring? We are measuring millimeters. So millimeters. Please make sure you write all this information down, hopefully a little neater than what I did. Number 11, the blank is an appropriate unit of measurement to measure a ladybug. Whoa, got to choose a littler one, so that's millimeters. The blank is an appropriate unit to measure the distance between two cities. Oh goodness, you want to choose the biggest one you can find, right? The kilometer, km. And the blank is a decimal system of measurement. Well, I have the same metric on that. The metric, decimal system of measurement. Number 14, Caitlin is reading a book. The book's thickness is 25 millimeters. How many of these books would fit on a shelf that is 1 meter long? So we need to understand that you can fit 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. So how do we figure out how many books we can fit? Well, you can take 25 into 1,000. And yes, you can do long division. You are strong and you can do it. Now, will 25 go into 1? Nope. Will it go into 10? Nope. Will it go into 100? Yep. 25 will go into 100 at least 4 times. So 4 times 25 is 100. Now, you could stop there and say, well, I see 2 answers that have a 4 in it, so I definitely know it's not there and not there. So I guess I'm going to have to continue on to finish my problem. So 100 minus 100 is 0. Bring down the 0. 25 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 25 is 0. My answer is 0. So then I can see that it's definitely not 4, that it's 40. If I wanted to double check, I could hurry and do 25 times 40 to double check my answer. Yep. Okay. Definitely is going to be 40 books. All right, ladies and gentlemen, show me your work, and I do need to see all your crazy equations. Thank you.